Hi, welcome to another video on the My Fragrance Journey channel. This one follows on to the previous one where I did a top 5 list, at least what I recommend for guys who are new into fragrances, to collect. So it's sort of like a top 5 recommended clone fragrances, right? So that was the previous video. This one I'm looking at 5 designer fragrances that are between the price ranges of 800 to 1,005. So fairly affordable fragrances, but man, these will make you smell special, right? So these are solid fragrances, I must say. For the price that you pay, the scent is just, some of them very magical, right? Some of them a bit challenging, but if you're starting out, you need to try things out, right? So the first one here on the list, simple grab and go type of fragrance from the house of Antonio Banderas, the Icon, right? So this is a line that I am very fond of, right? So I've had the EDT, this one is the EDP, and then I've got the Elixir, right? And then there's an altitude that I haven't gotten yet, right? But which I'll get in soon, right? So pricing very reasonable. So this is a 2022 release. So this is in a blue fragrance style, right? Blue fragrance type of scent, right? Top notes here are grapefruit, black pepper, juniper, and then the mid you've got lavender, suede, cypress, and then you've got benzoin, patchouli, labdanum, and vetiver in the base, right? So yeah, at number 5, this is what I recommend. It smells good, and the only downside is the performance might not be that great, but it's an EDP, so it will push, especially in the cold winter months, right? Yeah, so that's Antonio Banderas, the Icon EDP, right? The next one from a brand that's very well known for its jeans back in the day. So Pepe Jeans London Celebrate Eau de Parfum, right? So there's an EDT obviously, and this is the Eau de Parfum. And this one initially was not one of those fragrances that I was quite fond of, but with time and with occasional wearings, I came to have a special appreciation of, right? So 2019 release, also don't expect to pay more than 1,005 on this. And top notes of black currant and lime, and then the mid you've got cacao, tonka bean, cinnamon, clary sage, and juniper, and then the base of amberwood, patchouli, and birch. So this stuff smells good, man. This stuff smells good. That black currant lime blend at the top, and then as it settles, the cacao, tonka bean, cinnamon, clary sage, juniper, those kind of, and the woods in the base, they come together quite nicely, right? So beautiful scent. It's an aromatic spicy, not very spicy though, but it's essentially an aromatic. Beautiful fragrance. Pepe Jeans London Celebrate Eau de Parfum, right? The next one at number 3, tried and tested line of fragrances from the house of Guy Laroche, Drakkar Intense. So Drakkar Intense was released in 2022, and it's essentially a modernized version of the original Drakkar Noir, right? So from the, I think, 80s, right? So released in 2022. So if you want a scent from the 80s but with a modern edge to it, this is it. This is a very nice fragrance. I enjoy it, even though I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not into these old school aromatic type of fragrances, aromatic fougere type of fragrances, right? So top notes here, wormwood, coriander, rosemary, and bergamot. And then the mid, you've got lavender, clary sage, and juniper berries. And then the base, lavender, patchouli, suede, and moss, right? So very much an aromatic fougere, a scent from the past with a slight modern edge. So modernized, essentially. So that's Drakkar Intense at number 3, right? At number 2, a fragrance that I recently bought from a line of fragrances that really intrigue me, but I haven't been able to get into them, you know, as much. I've been a bit distracted, but probably this year I'll probably get into it. So from the Wanted line, Azaro's Wanted line, this one is Azaro Eau de Parfum, Wanted Eau de Parfum. So obviously there's the original Azaro Wanted, Azaro Wanted by Night, Azaro Wanted Parfum. There's the elixir that recently came out. There's the tonic, and then I'm probably missing something. So it's a line that came out, were very hyped, and just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. The best from this line is the Wanted Parfum. That by a long shot is the best. But the Eau de Parfum is decent, right? 2023 release. Juniper berry, sage, and vetiver. Simple note breakdown. That's what it is. You get those notes down. It's a woody aromatic, and it smells good. I must say it smells good. I haven't worn it enough for me to really comment on its longevity and, you know, all of that, because for some reason it's been a bit invisible. But, you know, as someone who's getting into fragrances and wants, you know, sure bet type of fragrances, this is one of them, or anyone from this line I think would be decent, right? Yeah, so at number 2, Azaro Eau de Parfum, right? Wanted Eau de Parfum. And then at number 1, from the house of Bentley, Bentley for Men Intense, right? So if I still had the Bentley for Men, the original, I'll probably be recommending it. But the Intense is just something special, something sophisticated, and just worth having, you know. So this can be something that you whip out for those occasions where you just want to make an impact, right? Where you just want to smell different, where you want to turn heads and just people not smell like everybody else in the room, you know. It's a bit challenging, I would say. It's got a good side and a bad side, where some people can, it will offend some people, but some people will find it quite pleasurable, right? So released in 2013, so it's the oldest here on this list. Top notes of black pepper, bay leaf, bergamot. The mid, you've got rum, woody notes, cinnamon, clary sage, and African geranium. And then incense, leather, benzoin, cedar, and patchouli in the base. So yeah, packed in terms of notes, but it does a good job, right? This does a good job. This is one of those fragrances that I get compliments from people when I'm wearing. So one of the few that really get compliments flowing, right? So yeah, my top 5 fragrances that I would advise any new beginner into the fragrance world to get into. They are affordable, they are great performers, they smell well, mass pleasing, and yeah, you can't go wrong with these, right? So with that said, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Till next time, peace, over and out.